to this edition of News Leader. Today is Tuesday, January the 2nd, 2024. I'm Andrew Todd. Happy New Year. In tonight's news, we'll have some highlights from the year as we look back on 2023 during this special edition of News Leader. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
Hi, my name is Ringo. Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. After 2 days of testimony, Tullahoma Alderman Jenna Amacher determined to be a citizen of Tullahoma even though she has resided outside of the city after selling her home in Tullahoma over a year and a half ago. In this clip from the court proceedings, Judge Carter explains his decision.
This case was filed in October of 2022 as a quote warrant of petition challenging the authority of Alderman Jenna Ray Amacher to hold office. The petitioner contends that Amacher abandoned, vacated, or forfeited her right to hold office when she sold her home in Macon Manor, February of 2021, and removed herself from the corporate limits of the city of Tullahoma. The questions before the court are, did she vacate her office? If she did that act forfeit her right to office because she didn't establish a new residence within the corporate limits of the town as required by the town charter? The town charter requires that a person be a bona fide resident of the city of Tullahoma in order to hold office. Now, bona fide resident, and we've inquired of counsel, and I've done research, there's no Tennessee legal definition of bona fide residence, but for the purposes of the analysis of this case, it is coterminous with the accepted Tennessee version of what a residence contemplates, and that's set out in statute, and a particular statute that we talked about today, and the case law tracks the statute, is Tennessee Code Annotated 22122. Now, it's suspicious. She was confronted about the residency requirement. At least it came to her attention that her residency was being challenged on October the 10th of 2022 at the Board of Mayor and Alder meeting. And then all of a sudden, it seems that the construction project really sped up. It's hard for me to see that as coincidental, but nonetheless, construction projects did speed up. But here's what I'm left with. This court is not called upon to determine the correctness of her politics. This court is not called upon to decide anything other than whether or not she has maintained her residency in accordance with the Tennessee law with respect to analysis of residency with respect to elected officials. And the state has burden of proof, as the Attorney General correctly notes, he has a burden to prove the case beyond a preponderance of the evidence. He has proven that she removed herself, and he has proven that she lived in that she's lived outside of the residence in Franklin County. However, I don't think he has overcome the exception under 22122 subsection 4. A person does not lose residence with the definite intention of returning. And the reason I say that is because there's taking her testimony out of it, there's sufficient corroboration that it may have been a plotting, and it may not be fast enough for some people, but she has always intended to establish the Ledford Mill Road property as her permanent address. let's put it this way, there's no evidence to show any contraindication. So, in essence, with the definite intention of returning, the state's not been able to overcome that. So, as I say, it'd be the ruling of the court that under the Tennessee law analysis of residency, she has maintained her residence, and I'll prepare a written order.
The Miss Tullahoma pageant was held on Saturday at Tullahoma High School. In this clip, we see the awarding of Junior Miss Tullahoma and her court, along with Candy Couch's interview with the winner.
And now, I will announce your 2023 Junior Miss Tullahoma and her court. Fourth runner-up, number 5, Hallie Tibbs. Third runner-up, number 12, Zoe Roberts. Second runner-up, number 6, Marley Chesser. First runner-up, number 9, Savannah Overcast. And the 2023 Junior Miss Tullahoma, number 3, Jadalyn May Cashin. Congratulations. Evelyn will crown your 2023 Junior Miss Tullahoma. Our 2023 Junior Miss Tullahoma and her court.
Well, Jadalyn, we want to congratulate you for being the 2023 Junior Miss Tullahoma.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell the folks, where do you go to school? Are you East or West?
I go to West Middle School.
Atta girl. So did I. So did I. Well, tell me, what do you like to do?
Mainly I like playing sports. Sometimes I like to draw.
Really? Do you draw with pencils or paints or
Mostly pencil.
mostly pencil? Do you like to do nature or people, or do you?
I like to do nature.
Oh, good for you. And so, what sports do you play?
I do dance, soccer, cheer.
Oh, wow. So you do pretty much all of it,
Yeah.
huh? That's great. Well, now, what grade are you in?
8.
8th grade. So you'll be coming to the high school next year.
Yeah, I will.
Are you excited about that?
I'm a little nervous, but mostly excited.
Oh, everybody will take you under their wing and be real good to you. I know that. for
I'm sure they will.
Well, now, who all do you have here with you tonight?
Well, I have my grandparents, my parents, some of my cousins.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you have your own cheering squad.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we thank you so much. And you know, one of the things that you'll get to do, and when it rolls around December, you'll get to ride in the Christmas parade.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
But we also do that. We do the filming for the Christmas parade, so we'll look forward to seeing you ride down Jackson, okay? Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you.
Oh, honey, you're welcome. We wish you all the best.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Welcome back. Tullahoma High School had 6 students accepted into this summer's Tennessee Governor's School for the Arts, which begins in early June. The Tennessee Governor's School for the Arts is a residency summer intensive program for high school students gifted in music, visual art, theater, dance, and filmmaking. Governor Lamar Alexander founded the School for the Arts in 1984, assembling a team of professionals to develop a program for Tennessee that would rival the best summer art schools in the nation. Since 1985, over 7,000 of Tennessee's gifted and talented students have been afforded the opportunity to attend the School for the Arts. Each January, more than 1,400 students compete for the 230 available scholarships. Rising junior Carly Evans was one THS student admitted into this year's program. Evans stated that she is thrilled about the opportunity and said that she is really looking forward to meeting other students who enjoy the arts as much as she does, and additionally learning new skills and techniques. Evans also thanked her visual arts teacher Kelly Orr for helping her in the process. The Tullahoma High School Band has 5 students attending this year's Governor's School. Rising seniors Ethan Eldridge, euphonium, Isaac Parlier, trombone, Drew Sterling, tuba, and Brady Welsh, percussion, as well as rising junior Joshua Jones, French horn. They will be attending this year's program. THS Band Co-Director Lisa Burden said, quote, "We are so excited that so many of our students will get this unique opportunity to immerse themselves in 3 weeks of music, experience what college is like, and bring back the wealth of information they gain from this experience back to our band program," end quote. This year's Tennessee Governor's School for the Arts will take place at MTSU from June 3rd through the 25th. For more information about the Tennessee Governor's School for the Arts, visit their website, gsfta.com. On Friday, Tullahoma held its Memorial Day observance at Veterans Park. Here we have the clip of Mayor Ray Noah's opening remarks along with the opening ceremony.
Our promise to never forget and our promise to always remember to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice and those who have given their lives to secure our nation's freedom. That's what we're here about today. These are the freedoms that we enjoy today. So Memorial Day is one of the most solemn days for our remembrance of any of our nation's holidays. So we gather today to pay tribute to those who have served in the military, particularly those brave men and women who have died, and to reflect upon the enormity of their sacrifice. So on behalf of Tullahoma's 20,339 residents, I give my thanks and respect to those families who have given their lives for the freedom and appreciate their sacrifice as well as that of their loved ones. So now please stand, as we all are, for the presentation of the colors. That'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. So with that, presentation of the colors.
Flag detail, vote. Yeah.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
The Tullahoma City School Board of Education recently ruled that Tullahoma Alderman Jenna Amacher was responsible for tuition payments from the 2022-23 school year, as her child was considered an out-of-district student. Later in the meeting, Amacher addressed the board and said she was, quote, accosted this past year, with the school system being a, quote, valiant supporter of the efforts against her, that she was not a resident of Tullahoma, noting that her trial in March ruled in her favor and stated that she was a resident. The basis of the trial was that the Office of District Attorney General Craig Northcott claimed that Amacher vacated her residency in the city of Tullahoma after selling her property on Amherst Drive in February of 2021, then finalizing a sale for property on Ledford Mill Road 6 months later. The argument by Northcott's office indicated that Amacher was not living or residing at the property on Ledford Mill Road, but rather on a family-owned property on Blue Creek Road, which is in Franklin County and not within the city limits of Tullahoma. Under the city charter, in order to run for either alderman or mayor of the city of Tullahoma, one must reside within the city limits. The city charter also indicates that an alderman and mayor must continue to reside in the city limits for the full term. The trial concluded with Judge Robert Carter ruling that Amacher was a resident of the city of Tullahoma, though he did acknowledge that while Northcott did prove that she lived outside of the city limits, he concluded that the intention of Amacher to permanently reside at her property on Ledford Mill Road was enough to establish her as a resident. Let's go to video of the exchange, followed by the vote.
Individuals desiring to appear before the board shall submit a written request with descriptive materials to the Office of the Director of Schools 6 days before the meeting. If the request is approved by the Executive Committee, the item will be placed on the agenda. Individuals placed on the agenda will be recognized at the beginning of the meeting and given 3 minutes to speak when their item is addressed on the agenda. All requests submitted will be included in your board packet. And Ms. Lawson will be keeping time.
How much time?
3 minutes. And she can signal you.
Are you ready for me to begin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, my name is Jenna Amacher. As you know, I am an elected representative of the city of Tullahoma. And recently I was, what is the wording I should use, accosted this past year, and your school system was, a valiant supporter of the efforts against me, especially with, what was said during my trial and with your efforts to try to prove that I, in fact, wasn't a resident. However, I think to the heart of this case is whether or not I'm a resident, whether or not my child has the ability to remain continuously enrolled in the Tullahoma City school system. And to that effect, I would remind you that the Chancery Court, ruled in my favor. In light of the foregoing, it is the finding of the court that Amacher successfully pled that Ledford Mill Road is her residence, is my residence. So that proves by the court, and those are words from the court in their order, that I am in fact a resident. All of your board policies are for non-residents, for tuition for non-residents. And I know that it helps you maybe to use the standard of where you lay your head at night, but really what that means is the Department of Education wants to make sure that you do not create a chilling effect on school enrollment. So even if a student is perhaps a family member of a non-resident, but they are laying their head in Tullahoma, that you don't turn them away at the schoolhouse gates. The very thing that you did to my child the very thing that you did to my child, Miss Duncan specifically. On the morning of the first day of school, when she got up excited to come to school as a second grader, was absolutely appalling. It was invidious, if you will. It was harassment. And the Department of Education provides that you do not have the right to treat any student differently with respects to your residency verifications. I have an attorney, you have an attorney, they have even been speaking over this. I went so far as to even file a temporary restraining order to make sure that this didn't happen. I filed it back in December of this year. We were basically told by your attorneys that, it would be telling based on whether or not I was considered a resident, and I understood that. And had I lost that, I would have paid your tuition and went about my business. But the fact is, I am a resident. It is based on legal domicile, and you didn't have the right to treat my child that way. Nor does she is so scared to go to school that they're going to ask her to leave every day. I have had to get out of district exception in another school district to place my child in school this year. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And your administration is causing you a lot of liability with these actions. I would request that you suspend the rules, because 3 minutes is absolutely a slap in my face considering what I have been through.
Do I have a motion to extend Ms. Allmacher's time for 3 more minutes?
So moved.
Motion by Teresa Lawson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Andy Witt. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Ms. Stidham?
All in favor.
Thank you. You have 3 more minutes, Ms. Allmacher.
The Department of Education provided some guidance to schools all across the nation and what's called a Dear Colleague letter issued on May 6, 2011. And I would encourage you to take a look at that at some time. But it has information about what you can do based on the McKinney-Vento Act, which you all know to be the acts that protect homeless children, for example. And I wanted to just show you what they classify even as homeless. Homeless children and youth are children and youth who are sharing the housing of other persons due to loss of housing, economic hardship, or a similar reason. I would almost express to you my situation might even qualify under the McKinney-Vento Act. But even if it didn't, a parent must be permitted to establish residency. This is on question 3. How can students meet requirements to show current residency in a school district? A parent must be permitted to establish residency using any of the alternative methods provided for by state or local law. States and districts cannot apply different rules or apply the same rules differently to children based on their or their parents' actual or perceived race, color, national origin, citizenship, immigration status, or other impermissible factor. Probably the very one that you're basing this on. All students must be treated equally. A district should review the list of documents that can be used to establish residency to ensure that the documents required would not unlawfully bar or discourage a student from enrolling in school. The goal is to not create a chilling effect on public school enrollment. I would also submit to you that the state of Tennessee is taking valiant efforts even this year. It's already passed all the way through the Senate, essentially, and will be heard this year. It was an HB bill, I have it up here, by HB 1130 by Gantz, and it was SB 1419 by Roberts. Local education agencies that should introduce requires an LEA to provide for the enrollment of students who are residents of this state, regardless of where they live. There's now a big push with the Reason.org website and through the state that they are considering legislation this year to bar tuition. So it is not about the money, first of all, because we know that TISA gives you money based on how many kids are enrolled in your system, not on where they live. And I'm already meeting that factor because you know that I own property, I'm a business owner, and I have a house here. Actually, I have multiple places that we could live, but I have only one legal residence. That is what you must go by. However, the damage that has been done to me emotionally and to my child, and the feeling of being unwelcome as a second grader, as a returning second grader, that is appalling. I could not believe that you would allow an administrator to turn a child away at the door who was so excited to get to school.
Ms. Allmacher, your time is up.
I think I've made my points.
This evening, the issue before you is whether one can be considered a resident in Tullahoma for purposes of voting or even holding office and still be a non-resident for the purposes of enrolling in school. Ms. Allmacher considers them one and the same. However, I submit that school board policy speaks differently to this. Last week, you received a packet of information to review in preparation for Ms. Allmacher's appeal to you this evening.
Move that our board accept and approve the findings and recommendations of our administration, including the $450 assessment for the 22-23 school year.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second by Andy Witt. All those in favor of the motion to accept and approve the findings of the administration for the 22-23 tuition of $450, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Ms. Stidham?
All in favor, one opposed.
Okay, thank you very much. Motion passes.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
And that's our News Leader Report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader. Stay safe and have a great evening.